Hey guys, Brian with Big South Outdoors TV here. You don't think ethanol gas is bad for your small equipment, that over time it doesn't disintegrate all the little parts and pieces in the carburetor? Well, I'm here to prove you wrong. I'm putting a new carburetor on this one. It's the Echo PB8010T, and I'm going to show you why. See how rough it's running? Now listen. It'll run like that until it gets warm. Then it starts bogging bad. See how rough it's running? Well, I got her good and hot, and she cut off, and now she won't crank back up. I don't know what getting hot has to do with the gas transfer, but I put a new fuel filter in it thinking that might be the problem. But, and matter of fact, here's the old one right here. That's the old one right there. It was pretty clogged up. I change them every year. But this is what ethanol gas does. I'm going to see if I can pull it and keep the phone in my hand, the camera in my hand. And the switch is on, as you can see. The switch is on. That's off. That's on. And it won't start. It'll start when it's cold, but it will not start when it's hot. So we're going to change the carburetor on it. All right, I've got the new one installed. Got the gas lines hooked up right there and there. Now, these two gas lines here, they're almost identical in length. And just a little tip, if you have to do this, the way I marked which one was which, I took this one, the clamp on this one, the outside one, and I put it way down on the line. And then this one, the back one here, I left it right at the edge of the nipple. That way I knew which one went where. I got my accelerator cable hooked up, and it works. Now this rascal right here is tricky. You can't loosen this front bolt, this front nut. You have to loosen up the back nut. I don't know why they've got it designed like that, but they do. I'm going to get the camera in real close on that so you can see. This nut, you can move it, but if you do, it's hard to get the adjustment back. Move the lock nut, loosen the lock nut, and leave this nut where it is. That way when you put it back on and you tighten it up, it's exactly where it was when it came from the factory. And the cable has the same amount of travel. So I'm going to fire it up. I'm going to show you, I have not even primed it. The primer bulb, if I can get to it, the primer bulb is empty. There's no gas in it. And as I said before, I changed the fuel filter, and I put fresh gas in it. So I'm going to fire it up, and then when I get it cranked up, I'll turn the camera back on. All right, I've got it primed. As you can see, the primer bulb is full of gas. Now, I'm just going to hold the camera and see if I can crank it. I don't know if I can. I got choke. The switch is on. So we have contact. Cranked up. Let it warm up a minute. As you can see before, it wouldn't even crank. And let me see if I can find the old carburetor. Right here it is. This is the old carburetor. and you can see down in the bottom, down inside that thing, it's all kind of corrosion and mess. The thing is, I took this thing apart and I didn't clean the outside, but I cleaned the inside. And I went to my dealer and they said, how long has it been since you changed the carburetor? And I said, well, it's been a couple of years. This is actually the second carburetor I put on it. And they said, do you run ethanol gas in it? I said, I have to. There's nowhere around that will has non-ethanol that don't cost $5 a gallon. And I'm not putting True Fuel in this thing. True Fuel is junk. But anyway, it got to where it wouldn't run. And the only thing I could gather was the insides had been eaten away, and the seals and the gaskets and whatever else is in that thing had been eaten away by that ethanol. And what I'm going to start doing when I get through blowing leaves and stuff at the end of the season, I'm going to drain all the gas out of this thing, and I'm going to put non-ethanol gas in it, just a little bit, and I'm going to run it through it and then drain it out and then run it out of gas and then store it. That way there's no ethanol in the system anywhere, and hopefully this carburetor won't do that. So anyway, please like and subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss any content. This is Brian with Big South Outdoors TV saying live big, live southern, and live outdoors.